It's a good week to be Gianni, or rather a Napoli Roma fan, but we're going to call Gianni. You know, the Calcio guys, Adriano, Nicholas, and the good old Gianni. How's it going?
Buongiorno a tutti, mi chiamo Gianni, sono romapolista.
Signore e signori, signore e signori.
Siamo qui alla discoteca a Milano. Come stai? I'm doing well. How about you? I'm doing okay. How about you guys?
Good. It's good to have you back.
You thought you were in some Calciatori Brutti YouTube video.
Why not, man? That would have been fun. They should hire us. Let's see, make us have us Italo Canadesi be stupid on the show. Why not?
I saw they had one of their videos where they just dubbed highlights of a game. It was actually taken down. They posted about it last week. I didn't see the video.
Really?
It was I think it was a Milan game. Then it was taken down for copyright issues. So
how does Yoti Goal get away with it then?
Sorry,
no idea.
I said Calciatori Brutti. I meant Leo to goal. No, but they wrote that it should be fine because it's parody. So I know, let's say in the States, I know there's laws. I think it's the same in Canada too. You could copy something if it's for a parody case. That's why SNL works, and they can use all these company logos. So I guess it's the same thing in Italy. And
I even saw was it Dan Colosimo, Co 99 there? I saw on socials. He had an incident with that for a 3-second clip or a 5-second clip, part of his whole video that he edited to take it down. He's like, yo, I'm trying to promote the fucking league, and it's I'm getting banned. So it's a crazy world.
You mean the league with Stop Piracy or Stop Piracy?
Exactly.
No, it's Stop Piracy.
That's how I read it. That's what I'm saying. It's Stop Piracy. So I'm piracy. You're telling us to promote it anyway. So.
Oh man,
we can't have anything nice.
Every time I see that hashtag "stole piracy," it just makes me laugh. Yeah.
And you know what the thing is? That hashtag is 3-4 years old.
If not more.
This shit out to them, they speak English in Italy. There's people that do take English courses there. What the hell? Anyways, whatever.
The image of the lonely fan in the stands where it's all abandoned and stuff, bro, what is this?
It's not the piracy it's causing that.
This is 1999 or something. I don't know what that picture.
Oh man. At least in Canada we got the zone. We have to pay $500 a year for it just to get Serie A, Champions League, NFL all in one.
It's crazy.
But piracy kills, right? We got to be positive, at least for Gianni, because Gianni, if we told you after 2 match days that Roma would have the same amount of points as Cremonese, you'd probably be disappointed, thinking they're at 0-1, 2 points. But here they are, top of the table, 3rd and 4th place, right behind Juve. Look, we'll start with Roma. 2-1 wins over Bologna and Pisa, the newly promoted Pisa goal from Sule. First game, I already drew a blank. Who scored? It was Wesley, right?
Yeah.
It was Wesley who scored.
Yeah.
But this goal, it was pretty much ex-Juventini that contributed to the goal between Dybala, Sule. Gasperini's your coach, ex-Juventino right there. But regardless, I know it's 2 games, Gianni, but it has to be a good, positive start. It feels like they're kind of carrying momentum from last season.
Yeah, it's obviously with the start of the season, I had my concerns in the preview show, especially when it came to how's this Roma going to look under Gasperini, especially he's new to the team, and how I think the players are going to adapt to I guess his system, if you want to call it any kind of system. You know what I mean? It's a 3-4-3, not something that they're used to using, but honestly speaking, they've been doing well. It's definitely not a start that I expected for them. Some hiccups here and there, but I think that they find it refreshing playing under Gasperini, and I feel like the players are a little bit more hopeful this season. Plus, Dybala being fully healthy makes a big difference for the roster. You could see it in the way they play. You could see it in the way they perform offensively. And I think the additions have been good so far. So Sule last year just pretty much picking up form as he did this year and stuff. So I think first reaction shock to see them to see them doing this well at this early on in the season. So let's hope it continues. I'm not gonna get too excited just yet because it is only 2 games in. You know, the last game was against Pisa. First game was, my God,
It was Bologna.
Bologna. There we go. Bologna
So
was
at least a respectable opponent.
yeah. But still a very respectable opponent. So not gonna get too hyped yet. But great start, better than what I expected, and that's the best. I think most Romanisti are basically going to say that it's definitely better than what they expected with the as what they have this year. Just didn't expect this kind of a start, but they did.
But at the very least, they're bringing some momentum. Obviously, they have one more game, and then there's the derby. They're playing Torino after the break, and then Lazio on September 21st. So it feels like that's already a make it or break, not make it or break it, but that's the real true test, right, Johnny? It's kind of like Juve, where yes, 2 wins against Parma and Genoa, but next game's against Inter. That's the game we need to talk about and we need to focus on.
Yes, 100%. It's more for about the serious. I don't know. I don't want to call them like I said, Bologna. I wouldn't consider unserious, but it's more about the more threatening teams that if you want to make it to the top 4, these are the teams you're going to have to beat to stay into the top 4 because they've been gunning for this top 4 since their last appearance in Champions League in 2019. Yeah. My God, it's been so long.
It's already been 6 years. It's far too long. I think just to bounce off to the Roma points, a lot of people even saying like to bounce off to what Johnny said. A lot of people were like, "Oh, well, how long is it going to take for these types of players to get adjusted to Gasperini, to his system?" We always know how it's not an overnight thing with Gasperini. And again, we're gonna sound like broken records until we kind of maybe reach like halfway through the season, but. Managing the expectations and just like really taking one game at a time because like Johnny said, it's only week 2, it's only match day 2, and okay, you can win your first 2 games, but you could also go on a bad run of 5 straight losses or something along those lines. So I think it's let's with all our teams and just even the league in general, and no matter who you support, I think just temper the excitement. I think just try to keep it even keel. And I guess one shocking point for me is that they've kind of adjusted to Gasperini, and they seem to be working well together and for him as well. So that's something that's always tricky with a new manager, I find, and especially in Roma's case, they've really had their fair share of managers over the last Johnny, 2 seasons, I would say.
Well, about 2-3 seasons of
seasons.
Ever since Mourinho left, it's been basically just a rotating door of managers coming in and out, trying to find something.
Yeah. So listen, if there's one person to find stability with, I think it's a guy like Gasperini. I think we all know that. It's how long this relationship could last. If this is just a honeymoon, period, or is this the in for the long haul? We'll see. But like Johnny said, so far so good for Roma.
One thing I want to add also that I forgot to mention before, what I do enjoy about the Gasperini system is that it seems way more offensive than what I'm used to seeing Roma play. But it also like makes them. I feel like as if they're a bit more prone to like mental lapses sometimes. It's not in a worrisome sense. It's more like because they do have some they did have a good performance. And Villar needs to be fully credited. Villar has been having a terrific performance. He's continuing his form from last season too of being a really strong keeper, and that's helping them out. But that is something that I think that we need to keep an eye on for this team. That it could be a potential blotch on the record right now in a sense of like, is his system so great offensively that it kind of creates a hole in the back end, especially that it's a 3-man back line. It takes a lot of responsibility for that. And, we need Mancini to be the strong and secure center back that he has to be if they want to succeed, because that back line relies on him. I feel like as if, he does have his moments, but he has matured over the years a bit, and he is a bit of an instigator, but like in a sense mature of like now he instigates to get the calls for him. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's one thing that you guys should also keep an eye on as well. Like whenever we talk about this in the future, like has Roma adapted defensively well, or is it like this new system also compromising their defense?
Yeah, even the new pieces that they've added too. I know we're gonna maybe talk some Mercato throughout the episode, but since it's now officially closed in Italy, but some of the new pieces that they've added, like we mentioned Wesley last week, scoring his debut goal on the first match day, and they bring in Ferguson, right? The striker, the Irish striker, and
assisted last game. Yeah, he assisted last game for Sule.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and what was it? The Greek guy, Tsimikas there from Liverpool, I believe. I think he's a left back or a left wing back or something like that. So, some of these pieces that they've introduced, and there's probably more that I'm probably forgetting, but I, I wasn't so sure of me personally looking on the outside in. I wasn't so sure how these guys would maybe fit in. But again, like the start for Roma, I think these players have started off on the right foot as well.
The last time Roma played in the Champions League, this photo, same year of this photo,
Wow.
2019, with our friend Richard. Hopefully, Richard sees this. 6 years ago today, I just wanted to share that up. One of the fun moments in podcast history when Richard came. We brought him to NDG Hot Dog. Had some nice Quebecois hot dogs.
Had a poutine.
He came with his wife and son and came to
Beautiful
the studio.
moment.
That was fun.
It was the best.
Speaking
Richard,
about
one of the best people ever.
Yeah,
one of the nicest
exactly.
people ever.
A true legend.
A real legend. Yeah.
Speaking about Roma and Europe, they're playing Europa League. Their opponents were announced: Nice, Lille, Victoria Pleasant. It feels like they always play Victoria Pleasant.
Yeah.
Rangers, Midtjylland, Celtic, Stuttgart, and Panathinaikos. So we'll see how they do in Europa League. But I think, guys, the big story in the city after 2 games has to be Cremonese.
Yes.
2 wins out of 2. They beat Sassuolo and Milan. Obviously. I think the Milan win alone is huge for them. Guys, we know they're not winning the Serie A. We know they're not going to make Champions League. Let's be real. We've done this podcast long enough. This is, Spal 2018 all over
Yeah.
Parma, even 2019. There's been teams that start the season hot. You feel good for them. Regardless, this is good for Cremonese in the sense that they probably had a goal at the beginning of the season. Let's say, 10 to 12 wins, 40 points around in that range to, save themselves from relegation. Already 6 points in 2 games is huge for that. But I think the bigger story also is Jamie Vardy coming in. I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but this is a guy who knows what it's like to win a championship with a team that was supposed to be relegated. Leicester City, maybe a bit different circumstances because Leicester was already up in the Premier League when they did win the league. Versus Cremonese is just coming up. Okay, we're not going to draw comparisons here, but it's just funny. Exactly 10 years later, after that Leicester miracle win, right? And he comes over. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know too much about Cremonese, their players. I don't know if he's going to be starting right away, but we'll see how long this magical run lasts. It almost feels like the international break is kind of ruining their momentum for Cremonese.
Yep.
But regardless, whatever happens, we'll always have Cremonese Matchday 1, Matchday 2, Serie A 2025-2026.
All I want to say is no Vardy, no party. So,
Buckle up, guys. Buckle up.
Just for his antics, just for his his snarkiness, and I feel like he's still got it's like, what was it? So we were talking about Albiol signing this week.
Yeah.
For
Pisa.
So for Pisa. We have Vardy for Cremonese. Earlier in the year, we got Modric to Milan. There was a 4th player that came back to Serie A.
Dzeko to Fiorentina.
Yeah, Dzeko to Fiorentina. It's, oh my God, Dzeko to Fiorentina.
What year
I forgot about that. Holy shit.
39 years old as well.
My God.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy seeing these guys that, were big names, and now they're still big names, but it's just so crazy how they're all coming towards the end, Serie A for the end of their career, which is nice to see. I saw somebody make a post trying to call it as if Serie A is a retirement league, and it's not a retirement league. It's a league that players do want to play outside of the Prem. It just goes to the most well-respected league outside of the Prem probably is Serie A. It does sound biased to say, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get flamed for it, but I'm not saying it's the only one. Obviously, La Liga is still very influential to play in, and it's still very prestigious, as well as, Liga and whatnot, in Bundesliga for sure, all the European. But Serie A historically is one of those leagues that you do definitely want to play in at some point in your career. So It's just so funny to see Like this image looks like not showing up just for context for anybody who's actually just listening and not watching a replay. It's an image of Vardy in the Cremonese jersey next to a violin, right? And I'm like this looks like something you get out of a sim in fucking FIFA Manager mode. Like it's so ridiculous, but it's crazy.
And I found the transfer just honestly came out of the blue, right? Yeah, like, guys, like I mean, I don't know, like if who had their reports on it or what first, but it was like for me just out of the blue. That is more of the shock factor of it. Like Vardy kind of, I think he left Leicester and like he was kind of maybe searching for another club, and this rumblings of maybe coming to Italy, and then. Okay, coming to Italy, that's fine. Okay, who's he going to sign for? And then you look, and it's like Cremonese. It's like not the team that you would have expected it to be, right? So, listen, like Nick said, if they need a miracle, they found the right player to do so. Because obviously that Leicester run, what was it, 5,000 to 1 odds, right? To at the beginning of the season to win the
joked
Prem.
around. I'm like, I want to put $5 on Cremonese to win the league because of this. You have
just
no
for
idea.
just for old time's sake, right? Like, it's like it's one of those moments that we'll never forget. But listen, man, like I mean, I was obviously pissed last week for the loss for Milan, but they've earned these two wins, two back-to-back wins, two impressive performances. The game this past week against Sassuolo was just a crazy match. 3-2, the penalty at the end by De Luca to win the game, right? So it was just I think again, like we said with Roma to start the show, let's manage our expectations. Let's it's only 2 weeks, 2 match days in. Let's kind of temper our thoughts, but you might have to do the same for Cremonese. But the fact that they started 2-0, 2 wins from 2, with David and Nicola, I mean, I think I had them at last place, right, in our preview show to kick off the season. I think I had them automatically going down. This kind of puts a bit of a bad taste in our mouths early on, but if they can survive, it's going to take these types of performances, and it's not something that I personally would have predicted. Like we said, preview show, I think I had them dead last and going straight back down to Serie B. But if it's going to take, these types of wins, a signing of Jimmy Vardy, like out of the blue, and they survive, I mean, chapeau to them. So we'll see. Again, well, the season's long, 36 more match days, and we'll kind of see what happens. But I'm excited to see Vardy on the pitch. Like it's just going to be like an interesting scene. The fans seem to already go bananas when he arrived at the airport, right? I saw the video. I think Di Marzio posted it. There was a fan. He already had a tattoo of him. I don't know if he was a Leicester fan or what, but he had a tattoo of Vardy's face on his leg or on his arm. He made Vardy sign it, and that's probably gonna get tattooed onto his body too. So it's Vardy mania, obviously at Cremonese, and like Johnny said, no Vardy, no party. So we're here for it.
Right
there it is.
5,000 to 1. The Leicester City story. Great book, by the way. Yeah, that was crazy. Like I said, 10 years ago, the 15-16 season, the only Premier League season I've really been into. I watched a lot of their games, especially once they had more of a title shot, or they're competitive. Leicester City, led by Claudio Ranieri, just one of those stories we'll never see again in sports. And look, imagine telling someone 10 years ago in August 2015 that Jamie Vardy would win a Premier League championship with Leicester, and then he would finish off his career playing with Mussolini.
You couldn't even script that if you wanted. Not even the script writers could have scripted that, right? So that's just
crazy. Insane. Cremonese, they do have some interesting players. Obviously, Baschirotto, Bonazzoli, Giuseppe Pazzelli, Milladero is on loan as well.
Terracciano,
Okereke, Sanabria. So you know what, they're putting together some team of players that
and they have a good
rejected.
Coach. They have a good coach. They have a salvation expert, right? David Nicola. So
exactly.
If there's one thing that's on their side, beyond these players that probably can do something, is definitely him.
So we're talking about random transfers, Serie A. Now that the market's closed, guys, what has to be the weirdest, most shocking transfer this summer? Because for me, it has to be Albiol. I saw the picture the other day of him drinking an espresso in Pisa. I honestly thought he was their new coach or a new assistant coach or something. I did not realize this guy was still playing. It's been 6 years since he played for Napoli, coming back to Serie A. Look, at the end of the year, we're just talking Serie A is a respected league, this and that. Who wouldn't want to live in Italy at the end of their careers, making good money, playing a sport, playing a kid's game and getting paid for it? So you know what, Albiol, I don't blame him. He lived in Napoli, he lived in Villarreal, now he's living in Pisa. You know what? He lived in Madrid. You know what? The guy's living a good life. So for me, that has to be the random transfer. How about you guys?
Johnny, I don't know if you have one in mind, but the one that kind of just came up in my mind now is another one that I'm surprised he hasn't followed Mourinho. Now Mourinho got the can, so there's nowhere to follow him to. But Nemanja Matic to Sassuolo, for me, was another weird one I found. I don't know, kind of out of the blue as well. Has kind of been around, right? He's been all over the place. There you go. There's Albiol for all the audio listeners. Albiol with a no bel espresso there, right? In the Pisa kit. But hey, he knows the league, right? So I think that's an interesting one, and they're just trying to get anything they can to try to maybe survive. But for me, Nemanja Matic for Sassuolo, another one that kind of came out of the blue. Experienced player, I think still of quality in his later 30s as well. Has played in Serie A as well, right? With Roma, no? Was he was on Roma, was he not?
Yeah, he was.
So, but yeah, just again, for me, it was just these transfers. They're just a shock factor of them, not only them being like random, but just more out of the blue. Like obviously the Homer recency pick is the Vardy one, but Nemanja Matic, Raul Albiol, like Nick said, it's two experienced guys that come to Serie A, and I think at this later stages of their career, and to bounce off to what Johnny said earlier about Serie A is a retirement league. It's like I disagree, not only because we love the league. It just I think some of these types of players, it's a league where they can still afford to be able to play at a high level because the way the league is set up, it suits their type of game. Like a guy like Luka Modric comes in, and he might be not the fastest player, and he might not be up to maybe La Liga speed in terms of the pace. I think he can still play in La Liga, don't get me wrong, but you fit him in Italy, and it's like just he's able to dictate. So I think Nemanja Matic is another one who can maybe do that if Albiol stays healthy. I think he can probably do that for Pisa in their defense as well. So I'm gonna go with Matic playing under Fabio Grosso. For me, it was a bit crazy.
For me, I'm actually gonna go. Well, we lost Nick, but he'll come back in a bit.
Yeah.
For me, it would have to be Nicolo Zaniolo to Udinese. I think Zaniolo to Udinese was quite a surprise, a pleasant one actually for me because I enjoy Zaniolo. So it's nice to see him back in Serie A. Curious to see how he's gonna be after his time abroad in Turkey. It's because if you think about it, right, like El Shawadi kind of had the same projection in a sense where young superstar, played good injuries at the start, had to leave town for a bit, just to leave town in the sense of like I need to recover, mind you, for different reasons. But I feel like as if Zaniolo to Udinese could be something neat. I think it could have some pleasant surprises for it. Definitely, I don't want to say a sleeper pick, but definitely like
He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, but definitely like some there's definitely something interesting that's gonna happen with this. I can't wait to see what it is though. But yeah, he would have to be my pick for biggest surprise in just transfer window because I never expected him to come back.
And it was at the deadline too, right? It was on deadline day, so it was even more. And it was funny. I saw Udinese's socials. They signed Zanoli and they signed Zaniolo, and they posted like a Z for because I think it was Zanoli who got announced first. So they posted this like Zorro type Z on their socials, and then I think when they announced Zaniolo, they kept the same image and they put like to the power of 2, so like squared, right? Like with the little 2 at the top. I found it pretty funny. Again, total shock factor 2 there for me for those 2 players, but especially Zaniolo, I think came out of the blue. So we'll see what he does in Udine because they got a shock win. Actually, no, you know what? A deserved win against Inter over the weekend. I think it was shocking in terms of maybe the result, but you know they definitely deserved it. And let's see if they can add to this Udinese side.
Guys, we might as well stay on the topic of transfers because all of our teams made some deadline moves.
Yep.
Milan, Allegri reuniting with Rebbio. Napoli bringing in Højlund. I don't know if that means something about Lukaku and his injury, how long he's going to be out. Juve last-second moves, getting rid of Gonzalez, bringing in
Zegrova.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
Zegrova.
Zegrova. There you go. I can't pronounce the guy's name, and obviously Lopenda. I might as well start because the Lopenda one is obviously interesting. All summer they were pushing to bring back Colomani. Basically, as a third striker. It was remained to be seen, right? What was going to happen with Vlahovic. Obviously, they couldn't get anything done, so that impacted their business, right? It is interesting that they did bring in David and they kept Vlahovic, and now they're both there together. But we kind of saw how that benefited Juve on Sunday against Genoa. David didn't have a good game. Vlahovic comes in and scores, and maybe this was the fire that needed to be lit for him to start performing, right? Having that other striker who's going to really challenge him for the starting role. But bringing in Lopenda is, I think, a smart move as a depth move. He's a good player too. Him versus Colomani, I don't know who's better. I did like Colomani last year, right? He scored some big time goals, but it just felt like it was probably something that wasn't sustainable. So we'll see what Lopenda does.
Openda.
Luis Openda. Sorry.
Yeah.
Zegrova.
Open the door.
Open the door. Open the door. Zegrova. Now, because I saw a video on socials where he was pronouncing saying Zegrova. There you go. I got it. Zegrova. You know Zegrova. I know nothing about.
He's from Kosovo. We're from Canada, so we pronounce it Zegrova.
I know nothing about the guy besides the fact that he did play with Jonathan David at Lille as well. So they are being reunited. He's coming to replace Gonzalez. We'll see what he does. It feels like ever since Chiesa got injured, what was it, back in 2022, Juve's winger situation's been kind of dicey. They really haven't had a solid starting winger. Yes, I know that they have Conceição. It feels like finally this version of Conceição is slowly replacing that version of Chiesa from almost 4 years ago. And Zegrova is there to, as a depth piece. It sucks about Gonzalez because there were so many players that they got last summer that are already on their way out. They already left. But it makes sense because those were Thiago Motta's moves, and now these are Igor Tudor's moves. And Tudor knows the French league as well, so it makes sense why they got David, why they got Zegrova. Look, I don't think any of these moves like push the needle, make Juve a real Scudetto challenger.
They make them better, though, I think.
I think they make them better. For me, the biggest addition to the Juve team isn't even a transfer. It's Bremer coming back from injury. We already saw that in 2 games, how massive he's been. We saw last season having him out, how that really impacted the team negatively, right? So him coming back is bigger than any of these transfers. Even maybe David's transfer as well. So for me, that's the biggest addition to this Juve team for the start of this season's roster versus the end of last season's roster.
That's fair enough.
I read something crazy that like Juve with Bremer in their last 8 games have like 8 clean sheets. Like it's something ridiculously high like that. It shows as you said. I'm just happy about the whole Vlahovic situation because it's good for my Fanta Calcio team.
I was just about to say, I'm like, he's giving a compliment to Juve. It has to be because he has them on Fanta. It has to be.
Of course, you know me so well. It's it's something I'm definitely happy about because cool. I get to keep a really good player.
And it's 2-2, right? It's 2 goals in 2 games.
2 goals in 2 games, and I only got him for 3 coins. 3
So-
coins out of 300 because everyone's like, oh, he's leaving. I got him for 3 coins and I got Lookman for 5. So I'm just praying that Inter gets Lookman so that I can actually get like value out of Lookman. But hey, 5 coins. If I lose 5 coins out of 300, not a big deal. I have Leao to pick up the pace for me, right? Right,
hopefully when he comes back, hopefully after the break. So we'll see. But even just to bounce off the Bremer point, because I wanted to add, it shows like when you have a leader in the back, right? Like there was nobody like he commands so much in the back. I think, and just looking from the outside in, like he's just his presence. Like they didn't have like a true leader in the back, in my opinion. Like Gatti, I don't think was really doing that. Like he had the captain's armband. Like he's like that, work hard, put your nose down and work hard type of defender. But for me, he wasn't like a true leader in terms of really commanding the back line, really making the sacrifices that what was it, last game or this game, that he already had the Chiellini bandage on his head, right? Like it's those things that you see, and as a teammate you look and you're like, wow, listen, if he's doing it, I gotta step up my game and I gotta be at that level too. So I think just him commanding the defense the way he does, and obviously his presence and his skills speak for themselves. He's been rated top defender in Serie A before. Made the move from Torino, one side of Torino to the other, right, to go to Juve, and it's like Nick said, like it shows when he's there, and it shows when he's not. When he's not, they're really suffering. When he's there, it's 2 clean sheets, and Di Gregorio doesn't have to do all that much work. So, just wanted to add that in there because kind of similar to when we saw like Chiellini for the national team, when he wasn't there for when he was, the Bonucci's of the world and these other players that were back there wasn't really cutting it on their own. But you see a guy like Chiellini that steps in and, the commanding of the defense, and it really helps and goes a long way, in my opinion.
Don't forget, I also used to have him as like my MVP defender way before.
That was that season, I think. When was it? That he's been at Juve, what, Nick, 2 seasons now, or was it?
It's been about 3 years. I think it's his 3rd season officially this year.
This is his 3rd, starting his 3rd?
Start of his 3rd, yeah. But like prior to that,
I think you predicted it. I think you predicted it the year he won top defender. What was that? 22, 21? What was that?
It was a while back. I remember because I was at my stepdad's house, and you're like, you guys like, really, Bremer out of all people, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, he had a phenomenal season. That's all. Just anyways, whatever.
I think that, and you know what? It paid off because he won top defender. So
it's his 4th season. It's gonna be his 4th season with Juve.
Oh, it's his 4th season. Okay, already. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Time flies.